Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new Pokemon TCG Pocket video. Today we're going to be going over Rare Candy, when to use it, when not to use it, and the most efficient way to build it in a deck. Before we hop into it, if y'all wouldn't mind hitting that like button. If you haven't already, might as well subscribe. You're already here. You can catch up on all my content, my lives, my new videos that be dropping, because you know we be doing that every other day for the most part. So if you haven't already, go ahead and do that and leave me a comment just so you can let me know if you learned some or just generally ask any questions. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First things first, we will go over exactly how Rare Candy reads. So Rare Candy reads, choose one of your basic Pokemon in play. If you have a Stage 2 card in your hand that evolves from that Pokemon, put that card onto your basic Pokemon to evolve it, skipping the Stage 1. You can't use this card during your first turn or on a basic Pokemon that was put in play this turn. So obviously that is a very powerful effect. I mean, there is tons of great Stage 2s. I mean, just for instance, you know, you got Charizard EX, Incineroar EX, you got Solgaleo EX. I mean, and you even got just some non-EX mons like Greninja, for example. Just some super powerful just mons that can definitely change any game that you're playing. So first things first, let's go into when you should be using Rare Candy, just as far as deck building goes. Well, obviously, in most Stage 2 decks, you probably want a Rare Candy or two. Now, that does depend on whether you have a good Stage 1, and what I mean by that is, let's do an example. So in a Charizard EX deck, Charizard EX is obviously going to be the main attacker. You want to get it down as soon as possible so you can use Stoke and charge up your Charizard and just be swinging at the first opportunity given. Now, Charmeleon is a Stage 1 90 HP fire Pokemon with 2 energy attack for 40 damage. That's not too useful, so obviously you're going to want 2 Charmanders and then 1 Charmeleon and 2 Charizards. Now, the reason why is because that gives you the most consistent outs into Charizard. If you break the Rare Candy, you could at least find a Charmeleon, maybe you could Pokecom to it or whatever. Just getting that out is going to be super strong and really help your strategy. And an example of when you wouldn't want any Stage 1s in a deck is going to be most decks with Greninja, because the Stage 1 isn't really useful, and most of the time you are really just looking for that Greninja combo just for the damage. A lot of times you don't even attack with the Greninja, so you might not want to even waste the energy powering it up, so why even have the Stage 1 in there? Now, right now, there isn't many situations where you would want maybe 2 Stage 1s and only 1 Rare Candy, but I could think of one off the top of my head. Maybe like a Dragonite, for example. You want those 2 Dragonairs over the 2 Rare Candy because Dragonite has 3 retreat costs, so you might want a Dragonair that has 1 retreat cost, and then you can candy out the Dragonite so that you don't get Sabrina locked, let's say. And also, you're not really too concerned about how quick you get it out because Dragonite takes at least 4 turns of energy attachment anyway. Now let's go ahead and talk about a situation where you might not want to use Rare Candy in a deck. Obviously, in the Ursa Day event, we saw a big deck come through, which is Oricorio and Magnezone take the whole thing home. Now you're probably wondering, why isn't this deck have Rare Candy? Magnezone is a Stage 2. Well, the reason why is because Magneton has a very crucial ability. Magneton has Vault Charge, which reads, once during your turn, you may take an electric energy from your energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon. So with that, you have free energy acceleration onto your Magneton. You could attach an energy somewhere else and still charge up your Magneton. So in this example, you actually wouldn't want to use Rare Candy because you don't want to miss that energy acceleration, as it is crucial to getting your Magnezone up and attacking the next following turn. Now, this is pretty much the only example where you wouldn't want to use Rare Candy in a deck just for right now, because Magneton is pretty much one of the only Stage 1s that even has an ability, and a very useful one at that. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump in to the most efficient way to run Rare Candy in most decks. So the best way to throw Rare Candy into a deck is usually going to be 2 Rare Candies, 1 Stage 1, with an Iono and a Pokecom. Now, the reason why you want an Iono and a Pokecom is it helps you with consistency. Now, Pokecom comes in clutch because you can obviously put a Pokemon that may not be useful or is not the card that you want to candy back into your deck and potentially pull out the one that you do need. And that is just a game changer. It's an extra opportunity at a Stage 2 that is going to change the game. So that is always going to be useful. Iono, on the other hand, let's just say you have you're bricked out and hey, look, we need a candy and the stage 2. It's just another way where you can throw it down and hope for the best. And a lot of the times it will pull out those cards if you need, especially if you have a big hand. It's very likely that you're going to find the rare candy with the stage 2 that you're looking for, as well as just be like an extra draw supporter just for any situation, and as well as hand disruption for your opponent. So with those 2 additional aspects in your deck, it is the most consistent way to find your rare candy stage 2 combos early on in the game or late game when you need them to make a big comeback. And with that, it pretty much wraps up why you would want rare candy, how to use rare candy, and the most effective way to use rare candy. So if you haven't already, again, please would keep up with our content. You go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as like the video and leave a comment. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.